Let's talk about how Daredevil got his red and yellow suit. Years before Matthew Murdock ever became Daredevil, he was still studying law with his buddy Foggy Nelson. And Matt Murdock's father was possibly the best boxer in New York, even being given the chance to fight for the title. However, Matthew Murdock's father was actually mixed up in the wrong crowd, and they were fixing the fight to make him lose to get all of the money. So when the fight eventually rolled around, he didn't want to back down and just take a dive. And even when his dad was getting knocked down and refusing to just lose, even the gangsters looked at him and told him that if he wins, he'll die anyway. But his dad didn't listen. He almost rose up as if the devil was inside him, walking towards his opponent with hands side to side, ready to take him on. And his dad would end up beating Crusher Creel. Everyone in the crowd would cheer and roar for Jack Murdock because he just beat the contender for the title. And afterwards, everyone would celebrate Jack Murdock's win. However, this was cut short because the leader of the gang, called the Fixer, would approach Jack Murdock. And he was none too happy with Jack Murdock winning the fight because he lost a lot of money. Later that same night, Matt Murdock would wake up to gunshots around the block. Matt Murdock, scared, he would instantly run towards the gunfire because he was afraid it might have been his dad that got killed. Once he arrived at the place where he heard the gunfire go off, he would find his dad laying dead on the floor, telling his dad that if he can hear him, he loves him. Weeks later, Matt Murdock would try to prove to the court that the Fixer killed Jack Murdock, but the court kind of dismissed the case. So this would end up inspiring Matt Murdock to become valedictorian in the class of law, in hopes that someday he can become the best lawyer like his father wanted him to be. However, after graduating and becoming a lawyer, it wasn't enough for Matt Murdock. He wanted more. So Matt Murdock went into his dad's old boxing gear and took his robe out and started sewing it into a costume. Because he read in the newspaper one day that the group called the Fantastic Four were a group of heroes that saved the world. Along with this, a small article about Spider-Man. So this gave him the inspiration to create a new suit, becoming Daredevil. And it was high time that Matt Murdock stepped in the ring. After donning the new red and yellow suit, he would track down all of the Fixer's gang members and try to find the Fixer himself. The trail would end up leading to the Fogwell gym where his dad used to train for fights all of the time, and he would beat on the man senselessly that shot his dad in the back, telling him that after Daredevil leaves this building, he testifies in court, and eventually it came down to the Fixer. The Fixer would beg Daredevil just to let him go and he'll give him all the money he wants, but what Daredevil wants, he can't give him. And the Fixer became so scared that he started to have a heart attack, and he would end up dying in Daredevil's arms.